If our operation's been crippled by the missing archive, then the best we can do at this point is to cripple theirs.
Hello, and welcome back to the Lost Legends of Scadrial Mistborn Adventure Game Podcast. I'm your host, Narrator-Trevor, and with me I have the rest of the well-roasted dusters.
Hello, I'm Lena, aka Beladora Wilde.
I'm Zach, and I play Finnigan Bomon.
I'm John, and I play Clydus Logan-John.
Let's jump back in. So we are still in the middle of our wild circus heist. The clown melee has finished up. The train cars are lined up so that way the very first car that you guys have already stolen from is starting to get towards the back of the heist car, and you are coming up on the second car. You are beginning to suspect, based on the length of the show so far, that you are probably going to have to leave two of these cars behind in order to in order to use all of your time without really pushing it.
What do you mean by leave two cars behind?
So you've already looted the one on the very end, on the right here. You suspect you really only have time for one car, maybe two, if you are incredibly fast.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't seem like it'd be a big problem. Take what you can get, leave the rest.
Just so I'm not metagaming here by accident, were we informed about the different logos on these train cars?
It is a surprise to see anything other than Irvine on the train cars.
Okay, I just couldn't remember if whoever had noticed that there is the Wild family crest or whatever on there actually told the rest of us about it.
I don't remember.
I am not sure who all saw it, to be honest with you.
I think I saw it. I feel like I would have said something to everyone, but I don't know if I got a chance and then forgot about it.
I feel like Bella saw it when she got tossed into the air.
Bella wants to rob her family.
Alright.
Odds are what we're after is right in there anyway, so.
Hop, skip, and a jump to the first car.
Clydus, I think you are in the performance car, and Bella, are you in the heist car or the performance car? I think you're in the heist car.
I'm in the heist car. She wouldn't trust herself to actually get anything done over there. But she'll help in whatever way she can.
We will go ahead and start with the next circus act. Clydus, you notice that Hinston has changed out of his extra sheriff outfit that he put on for the clown melee when he came out to tie you up. Did you get untied yet?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure that anybody is in quite a hurry to untie you. But you see Hinston change out of this outfit, and he's still in just his regular clown stuff. And he walks out back onto the onto the performance stage to the center, carrying a bunch of billy clubs. And give me a spirit roll.
Clydus?
Yeah.
Was that 2?
I believe it is. I didn't pull up characters yet.
Oh, yep, 2. Nothing.
Yeah, I think with nothing, nobody's really untying you, and you weren't put in a place where you can really see out the door. So you're not quite sure what his performance looks like. Let's go back to Finn and Bella.
So I'm just making sure I'm understanding where we were at. So the last thing I remember was helping Olda and Yolens, the pewter arms, jump back across to the heist car. Is that correct?
That's correct. And then I think our coin shot was he had rolled really well and was almost back on, not quite back on. If I'm remembering that correct, Shinav.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is, I guess I'd get prepared for the next car and just kind of work my way down.
All right. And then as far as you're aware, you're still just going for the next car, right? We haven't really made that change of course out loud with everybody, or have we?
But as far as Finnigan's concerned, that's the plan, correct?
If Bella saw him preparing to go for the next one up, then she would probably give him a little nudge and say, "Hey, I know it might be a little bit out of the way, but I would really like to hit that train car that's right at the front."
Wouldn't that be like right in front of all the people?
You do have a way to try and communicate with the captain, like different colored smokes to tell him to speed up or slow down.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, I can give the conductor the signal.
I mean, I might as well try to hit one more on the way while it's going across. What do you say?
Yeah, I figure we can always... I really want to see what's in that one. I want to see if my stupid little brother's got something good in there.
I mean, odds are, whatever we're actually after, I mean, they'd want to keep it in something that doesn't scream Irvine, so... I mean, that'd be my guess.
And that's a very good guess. Shall I go signal him?
Aye, let's do it.
Alright, I will go do the signal.
Yeah, you've got a guy with the circus who is controlling like a colored smoke that's coming out of the car, just to kind of feed the atmosphere a little bit. And you have him switch to a different color smoke, and the train starts to speed up. I will say that it's going to be, it won't be right away. It'll take a couple of beats before it goes all the way back. And so you guys are probably going to be waiting through the end of Hinston's act before you have a chance to jump over.
I'm going to make an audible here. I want to say green smoke for speed up and fuchsia smoke for slow down.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What is Clydus doing as he is hogtied on the floor here?
Clydus is, like, trying to roll into view of some circus hands and trying to make some noise, get someone. Is someone going to get me untied here? I can't do nothing, just hogtied on the floor.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a charm roll. And I'm going to give you +1 for being deceptively lackadaisical.
I got 3s and a nudge.
Yeah, with 3s and a nudge, after they kind of chuckle to each other, the cow clowns come over and get you completely untied and stand you back up on your feet.
Much obliged. Alright, where'd Finn get off to? Clydus is gonna, like, go peer out the side of the performance car.
Which way are you looking?
Forward.
Okay, as you look forward, you do see some green smoke at the front of the circus car that is coming from a small device that they've got attached to the wall. And you see that the train has started to move a little bit more. You do not see anybody on top of the train anymore. Does anybody remember what Flamar ended up doing? Did he stay over on the other roof?
I do not remember at all.
I'm
pretty sure he did.
I know that he almost fell trying to help me get the first door unlocked and opened.
Yeah, I think he just stayed over there. So you do see him kind of surreptitiously making his way forward on the second car towards the gap of the third. So he's right about here on the map.
Because I know
but you don't see Finn anywhere.
I tried to unlock the second car and failed that. I do remember that.
Clydus is then going to take a peek in on Hinston's act.
Okay, give me just a second. I'm going to roll for Shin. He got 5s and a nudge. So as you're just about to peek in, you see between the train cars, Shin kind of come rocketing in between and then slide over in between the cars right under Flum and onto like the little connection between the cars before he starts to climb up onto this third car with Flum. As you look forward to see Hinston's act, you see that Hinston is doing an elaborate juggling act. And let's see how well he does. He got a pair of 2s. And so you can see a pair of 2s and a nudge. So you can see, like, every once in a while he'll kind of, like, stumble a little bit and, like, have to go to the side because the train will be just a little bit more unsteady. And at one point he does drop one of the clubs that he is juggling. But for as long as you watch, you just see him go through different sorts of juggling patterns and like alternating rhythms with one hand and the other, and different sort of tricks like that with these sort of like billy club pin looking objects.
Show off. I want to. Is there any like kind of stink bomb or something that Clydus could like throw in there as a distraction?
What you got in your inventory?
Dynamite.
I've got them all.
Not quite what I
if
want to
you
use,
want it.
though.
No, I don't think so.
Let me see. What do I have? Train maps. I got my cowboy craftsman tools, but I don't think anything in there would work with this no problem.
Give me a spirit roll. This one's gonna cost one of them.
Just one nudge.
Yeah, with one nudge, you try and kind of like go over to see if you can find maybe like where the lion does his business, but there's just nothing there.
All right, is there something that looks kind of like a billy club, but would definitely be the wrong weight that I could toss in his direction?
Give me a wits roll.
I got 1s and a nudge.
With 1s and a nudge, I think you find maybe one that's like cracked a little bit. That he has left behind, and so it's a little bit harder to handle, but it is still one of the clubs. You're not able to find anything that closely resembles it other than this damaged one.
But Clydus is still wearing his cowboy outfit, right?
Yeah.
So Clydus is going to, like, saunter in and shout, "Hey, you forgot one!" and then toss it at them.
Alright, go ahead and give me a physique roll.
I got 5s.
Yeah, that beats his 2s. So you toss this one in, and like he goes to grab it as it goes through the air, and he grabs it on the end, as you kind of like. I'm assuming you're not quite just tossing it in there to toss it in there, but to be disruptive.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So it starts sailing towards his head. He reaches forward and tries to pluck it from the air and grabs it on the end of the handle. And that handle snaps, and the rest of the club keeps moving forward and smacks him right in the nose. And all of the billy clubs kind of fall down, some of them hitting him as he falls onto the floor. And a couple of them scatter away and fall. One of them falls off of the train onto the tracks.
Clydus does like a really silly, stupid-looking dance all the way around Hinston. Like, I'm thinking something similar to from Gangnam Style, when the guy in yellow is dancing, and then Psy just starts kind of sidestepping in a circle around him.
Go ahead and give me a physique roll, and then there's like 7 different Fortnite dances you could choose that would just make this moment perfect. We'll have Kelsier do a couple and see what people think would work best.
I don't really know many of the Fortnite dances.
Oh, that's okay. Kelsier knows a lot of them.
Okay, so that was 2 nudges. I'm gonna re-roll. Nothing.
As you start to try and do this dance around him, you get really into it and like start jeering and really like leaning forward to him as he's laying on his back, and your foot hits one of the billy clubs that is now scattered across the floor, and suddenly you are no longer looking at him but looking up at the sky as your back hits the bottom of the train.
Oh, my back. Oh.
Well, at least there is some karmic justice in the universe, Hinston says as he gets up and starts to collect the billy clubs.
Clydus just gets up and then, like, shamefully walks off stage.
At this point, the train car has aligned right here. Bella, go ahead and give me a wits roll to see if you can get the timing just right to have this slow down, and see how well it aligns.
That was ones and a nudge.
I think once in a nudge, you're not going to have the most expansive window, but the train slows down right about where it's about right here, and so you're gonna have a window. It's just not going to be the best window that you could have.
For our audience, right here is where the gap between the first and second car.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The car is about halfway between the heist car and the performance car. This is why I don't use visual aids most of the time.
Finnigan's going to take the opportunity to jump across to prep himself for opening the door.
What are you doing for preparation?
Getting to the car.
The first thing you notice when you open the door again is that Flum has, as he tries to jump over onto the roof of this other one, has fallen down and is now in between the two cars. Let's see how Shin is doing. Shin got 2 4s, so Shin makes it over really easily, and then turns around to try and help Flum up for the next beat. Finn, go ahead and give me a physique roll.
That is 5s and a nudge.
Yeah, 5s and a nudge. You leap over, and you have been kind of starting to get the hang of jumping between these train cars. It's a little bit like jumping between ships. If ships were moving at a much faster pace and could kill you if you missed. But you jump over and grab onto the door there, and you're pretty well positioned to just kind of shimmy over and get at that lock at the next beat.
Nice. Welcome to the Finnigan Bomon weight training program.
All trains and all doors.
That's done wonders for my physique.
All doors go to heaven.
I mean, technically I knock them down, so maybe not.
Is there any other circus events that anybody wants to see the circus put on, or should I kind of keep taking that over?
Maybe instead of actual, like, you know, like the big animals like the elephants and the giraffes, they can kind of do like a Lion King on Broadway where they have puppets, people running puppets of all the different larger animals.
Okay, yeah. So the all of the Alamancers who did the trapeze stuff earlier, and the skimmer and the lurcher who did the kite act, get out these elaborate costumes, and they don't have any poles for them or anything. There are just different points that they push and pull on to keep it in shape. And as they get out the door, the head of the giraffe shoots up in like a telescoping fashion. And I imagine like it's sort of like the same material you might see with the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Wacky waving inflatable arm waving tube man.
In that like it's a canvas or maybe nylon type fabric. That is a little bit flexible, and they've put like metal ratchets in or something to be able to let them manipulate this. But the head of the giraffe shoots up, and there's a couple of Alamancers holding onto this thing as they make it walk out there onto the main platform. And let me give them a roll to see how well they perform.
I also have one request.
Yeah.
Because we've established that dragons are canon in the Cosmere, we need a dragon.
I'm not sure that there's any dragon legends on the Scadrial, though.
We could have a dog, though.
Yeah, there definitely could be a dog.
and watch it be Hoyd.
But once again, these Allomancers are just incredibly skilled, and they know their craft, and they have decided to really adapt it to the environment that they've been put in. And so, a couple of them come out with a giraffe, another one comes out, and instead of on a kite, this time the skimmer is in a bird-like contraption, and it's less obvious who it is that is like tethering him as he catches the wind and starts flying around and doing like circles around the head of the giraffe. But you can, if you were cued into the magic, you would understand that like they're kind of passing it back and forth as he manipulates the air currents to do a lot of the motion, and then they just give him anchor points to let him manipulate. At a couple different points, like the giraffe and the elephant that they bring out, spring up and like climb the audience's bleachers like a staircase, and then run on top of the train before running out to the left side and around. And it's just another really cool display of what they're able to accomplish with their allomancy and poor performance art. Just watching these lifelike, giant-sized animals run around in an almost realistic fashion without any sort of strings or anything attached to them.
We have like a ton of lemurs just suddenly popping up between the stands, and almost like they're coming out of the roof of the car, like they're coming out of their hidey holes.
Some meerkats just pop in and out of the center ring sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Bella, are you going to continue rioting as the fellas leap across this train, or are you interested in investigating this one yourself partially?
I don't think that she would trust herself to get over there alive. So she'll just continue rioting everybody and then just like try to peek into the other car from where she's standing.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a riding roll.
Alrighty. That was 5s and a nudge.
Yeah, so everybody can go ahead and take one more die moving forward on their next roll. Speaking of, Clydus, is there anything that you wanted to do in the meantime?
Clydus gonna look out again and see if he can see what Bella and Finn are doing and anticipate whether or not he needs help. Look for any witnesses that might need to be taken care of.
Go ahead and give me a wits roll.
With popcorn and circus magic, not like taken care of.
Sure.
You give me a wits roll. Everybody in the party give me a spirit roll.
Well, I've only got one now, right?
You get to roll 2, but you have a negative outcome on your roll.
Yep, I got nothing.
I got 4s.
I got nothing.
Well, thanks to the good show that the Allomancers put on, I took away a lot of the audience's dice, and they got nothing as well. So with the 4s and the nothing, Clydus, what did you get for your wits roll?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I had to do a spirit roll.
You did, but then this as well.
I have 4, 5, 5. I got 4s.
So you can see that Flum has had some trouble and is caught between the two cars, although just barely because that angle is kind of bad for you. You look forward to see if you can notice anybody in the audience paying attention, but you notice that everybody's absolutely riveted by the display being put on by the Allomancers, and so you feel pretty comfortable that things are going well for the moment, and there's nothing that is in dire need of your attention. So you don't feel pressed that there's an emergency you need to take care of.
Okay. I think Clydus is just gonna play supervisor and observe. Let everyone else do the real work.
Perfect. So let's get to that real work. Finn, go ahead and give me a physique roll. I am going to keep it neutral since you get your +1 from Bella, but I'm going to keep it neutral since you're still kind of, it's still a difficult task, but you're starting to get the hang of it.
Do I retain the +1 for knowing how the lock works, or does it does the difficulty of being on the train take that?
You know, I'm gonna give you the +1 for that. Since you're starting to get the hang of like moving on this train. So physique roll +2.
That looks like 2s and 2 nudges.
Yeah, 2s and 2 nudges. You are able to get this train open, the door open, and you start to slide it open a little bit with the lock still in one hand. Let me roll for Flum and Shin.
Yeah, I rolled like 4 2s on that. I'm like, ah.
So Shin is able to climb up pretty quickly. Shin is able to help Flum climb up pretty quickly, and Flum walks over, and you feel a gentle tugging on the lock in your hand.
Like a tugging, as in, something's happening with the lock, or
the lock is being pulled on.
The lock is being pulled on. I'm gonna look at who's pulling it.
You see Flum standing at the top. If you want to hold on to it, you can, or if you want to let them
she's
try
pulling,
and grab it.
She's pulling the lock up. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. I misunderstood like what was going on. I'm like, oh, what's happening?
You do not have to let it go if you don't want to.
I will let it go, but I want to keep the key.
Okay, you let it go, and you see it kind of rise up, and Flum tries to grab for it, and you see her fumble, and it starts to fall.
Oh, brother.
At the last second, Shin reaches out and grabs it. These NPCs are not rolling well, but they're covering for each other enough.
I'm just gonna look at Flum, and I'm just gonna kind of like do like a little not like a mean glare, but it's a glare. It's like professionals, people, please.
Flum just kind of shrugs, and points at her ears and shakes her head.
I can't hear you.
Don't blame this on your sinuses.
Episode title: Blame it on your sinuses.
Okay. Since they've secured the lock, I'm gonna try and get the doors open.
Yeah, go ahead and give me another physique roll.
That will be 3s and 2 nudges.
3s and 2 nudges. Yeah, you absolutely get this door open, and you open it wide up, and then kind of snake around as it's opening, and perform like a little spin, and you're inside of the train car. You notice that there are not nearly as many boxes, and they seem to be like a little more tightly packed, like there's more nails and stuff inside the tops of each of these.
Interesting. I guess I'm gonna brute strength one of them just to see what's inside of it.
Okay. Just kind of like, are you using some charges to really like just pull open the top?
Yeah, I might use a charge.
I will say that's just 10 charges straight out if you want to do it that way.
Yeah, I'll do it that way.
Yeah, you rip the top off of one of these, and I'm kind of at a loss here, because I know exactly what's in the crate, but we have no information on exactly what would be in the crate in Scadrial. But Finn has been around the docks long enough to have seen what drugs look like, and these are absolutely the Scadrian equivalent of drugs being shipped in this crate.
Ooh, Bella's got some splaining to do. Well, I'm guessing this might be what the mob is after.
Take it.
Take the power in your hand.
Yeah, so how do you react?
I kind of give like a little sigh, and I'm like, well, we don't want Bella's brother involved in the drug ring, and I do this, I get some boats back, and it's really the lesser of two evils, isn't it? I'm kind of talking myself into like, okay, yeah, we got to do this. But then you're involved in it.
Do you want to give yourself both a charm and a spirit roll? See which one wins out?
Ah, sure. Let's do it. Character decisions decided by rolls. That's a lovely precedent to start.
Does he take willpower damage if he fails his spirit roll?
I got a nudge on charm and 4s on spirit.
You feel very strange about you start to think about the moral and ethical quandary that's presented here. Are you becoming responsible for these drugs if you change the course in which they were heading? Do you have some moral or ethical duty to destroy these drugs before they get distributed? Does it matter what happens to these drugs as long as you have your boat? These questions like start to pour through your mind and kind of leave you a little bit crippled with indecision as you're standing over this crate.
I think Finnigan's going to be stuck in his moral quandary for another beat.
Flum is going to try and jump back across.
Back to the heist car?
Yeah, back to the roof of the heist car, because he'll be more useful on that side.
Don't forget, it's Flum the lurcher.
Flum is the lurcher. And then Shin is going to try and climb down. Which he does pretty handedly.
I want to have Clydus assisting Flum if he can.
You would have to travel back to the heist car and then climb onto the roof.
Alright, well, Clydus is at least going to travel back to the heist car.
Okay, yeah, you walk back there and you see that Olda and Yolent are both kind of like anticipating the need to jump across and like sitting in a ready posture. And just as you enter the heist car, you hear a thump on the roof as Flum jumps across.
Clydus is going to signal to Olda and Yolent with his rope and try and convey that he could toss the rope across.
I think that's more of like your guys' decision. I know that when we first did the first car, I gave the option of trying to put a plank across. And that was something that was decided against at the time, I think.
Okay. Well, never mind then. Clydus will be ready to catch anyone who doesn't quite make it, but almost.
Okay. Finn, as you're sitting there staring at these small packages packed tightly into this crate, there's a soft thump behind you as Shin walks in, and Shin comes over and says, "Yeah, what you got going on over there, huh?"
Ah, you speak the mother language.
I speak a little this, little that. What's to you?
Well, looks like this is the hole that the funders of this operation are after.
Oh, that looks like that'll pay big time. Wonder if they'll give us a bonus for it. And he goes to grab the crate and start moving it over towards the door.
Moment of truth.
Finnigan will let him.
Okay. I'm going to roll for Olda, I believe, was the one who was jumping across. Yeah, and Olda is such a pro. Like, Olda makes Yolent look like he's just a babe in the woods, because she just does this neat little jump, and she manages to make it across right as Shin gets to the front and grabs a box from him, and she prepares to start throwing them across.
Bella's a little bit in love. Just a little bit.
Maybe that
Nice.
would
Let me
actually
roll
be
for
the
each of
title
them.
the episode. A little bit in love.
3s and a nudge on one end. 1s and 3 nudges, I think, is good enough. So once again, Olda is just handling this like it's no problem. She tosses it across. Yolant grabs it, but then kind of goes off balance and takes a couple steps back before he straightens back up and puts it down to the side. Finn, what are you doing over in the other... Or, I'm sorry, Bella, did you want to interact in any way?
She is trying very hard to get a glimpse at what's going on inside that train car.
Give me a wits roll.
Yes. My strong suit. Oh, you know what? Not too bad. That was 3s.
With 3s, you do notice that from the angle that you have now, that Finn has kind of like stopped in place and is not really moving very much. And then you see the top of the crate that's being thrown across has been ripped open and just like lightly secured back down. Yolant kind of walks over and puts it down next to the other crates, and you can see that it's still just kind of like half jarred open, half like, you know, you just push down on something that's been nailed in and it keeps it there, but it's not really fastened.
Oh, you know I'm gonna open it up.
Yeah, you open it up and you recognize immediately the type of drug that this is as being something that the Irvain family has trafficked in for quite a long time in Rashikin, and something that they've long been suspected of from officials in Elendel, but it's never been proven to be them. That is absolutely an Irvain product that is being shipped in a wild box.
I'm gonna go over to the door, and I'm gonna try to shout at Finn and get his attention. I'm gonna go, Finn!
Finn, I am going to make this another spirit roll.
Yep.
To see if you kind of collect yourself enough.
That is 5s and a nudge.
Yeah, with her shouting your name, it's kind of like an instant grounding moment where you just come back to the present and you kind of feel like, for better or worse, there's a sense of finality in the decision that you made, and now is the point where you have to just live with that decision.
Finnigan at this point is going to be, he's not going to be looking very happy about it, but he is going to be pushing the crates as close to the edge of the car as possible so they can be tossed across.
As you pull one of the crates closer, you see Bella as she kind of waves at you.
I wave back.
I pull out the Molotov cocktail, and then I indicate it, and then I point at the boxes.
Finnegan gets a really big smile on his face.
Hold on, Bella. Clydus pulls out the stick of dynamite. Maybe you want this instead.
Darling, I like your style.
Does somebody want to cue me into on what exactly this means?
I think it means
look over.
boom. We're going with the other kind of vanishing.
And I kind of look to it's Shin in the car with me, right?
Yeah.
Something tells me you might want to be getting out of here really quickly. It looks like my compatriots have something in mind that might not go over too well with our mysterious benefactors.
So what are you telling him to, like, jump back across?
Yes.
What about the boxes here?
Well, I mean, what's a little bit of money money and boats when it comes to making sure people's lives aren't destroyed? Now stealing goods and valuables from rich folk, I'm all for, but when it comes to things that can potentially be devastating to one's livelihood and life, I tend to stay away from that quite a bit. That's
Guns, absolutely. Drugs, that's where I draw the line.
Don't forget fires and explosions. We're all about that. Definitely not
No
for
judgment.
new
I
people's
just
livelihood.
I like the juxtaposition. Give me a charm roll.
That's a whole lot of nothing.
He kind of like gives a little bit of a nervous laugh and looks over at Olda, and Olda kind of gives you like a raised eyebrow and then picks up the next crate and goes to toss it over. She tosses it, and Yolent catches it. That one went pretty smoothly, and he goes and puts that one next to the first one.
Well, I can't say I didn't warn you, and I jump across.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a physique roll.
Yep. 5's and a nudge.
Yeah, you kind of jump over and you land pretty lightly on your feet, right next to Bella and Clydus.
I indicate the stick of dynamite, and I say, Finn, would you like to do the honors, darling?
Well, is there a way we can let the folks... how is the train situated, out of curiosity?
It is looking pretty even. The window is starting to close to where you can jump across comfortably.
And where is where, out of curiosity, is the head of the train?
I would say there's probably another couple of cars that are less, like, maybe it might be shipping grain, or maybe they're empty cars that are going to pick things up. But there's 3 or 4 more cars up front before the head of the engine would be more up towards where the first set of bleachers is.
Bella, on second thought, hold on to that dynamite. And Trevor, I'm going to tell you what I would like to do.
Sure.
I would like to jump back across, get to the front of the car, and pry them apart, so I'm not hurting the drivers of the other train.
Okay. Let's do a physique roll to start.
Yep.
Clydus and Bella, are you doing anything as Finn jumps back across?
I'll riot Finn to help him out.
Sure, go ahead and give me a riding roll.
Oh yeah, I forgot to use my 1 extra die earlier.
You might still need it.
4s and a nudge. That's a lot of 4s. A lot of 4s and a nudge.
I think with 4s, you can go ahead and have a free nudge on your next roll, Zach.
Ooh. Yay. That's 5s and the free nudge.
Okay, yeah. So you make it back across very easily. And you're just gonna disconnect it at the wild car?
Yep.
Okay. We will handle that in just a second. Hinston walks up, and he kind of grabs Clydus by the shoulder. Why do you have the dynamite? I thought the whole point of this exercise was so that way nobody knew we were here.
Hey, I just come prepared.
I'm just holding on to it.
Prepared for what?
And FYI, I believe I gave the dynamite to Bella, isn't it?
Yeah, but Hinston came, to you to talk to you. Out of the two of you, he addressed the question to you.
Punk, if there's one thing I know about this group is you need dynamite.
Alright, well, at least let us finish transferring the goods over before you go all exploding.
Don't look at me. I'm not the one with the dynamite. And Clydus,
I
shuffles
For
to
the record,
hide the other 3 sticks in his pocket.
For the record, I'm probably holding a stick of dynamite in one hand and a Molotov cocktail in the other.
This is an image that needs drawn, fan base. We need this image.
Hinston looks at you and raises his eyebrow.
I give him my most winning smile. And a wink.
As you guys are talking, another crate gets thrown over from the wild car. Finn, go ahead and give me a physique, or let's make it a wits roll to see if you can figure out how to disconnect these 2 train cars.
What if I just want to break it?
Ooh, that sounds expensive to me. That's some pretty heavy metal.
But
Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can. I'll do the wits roll. See if I can find like a weak point where I'd be able to like easily wedge them apart. Maybe there's a hinge somewhere.
I mean, it'd probably be easier just to do the wits roll to figure out the mechanism at that point.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a wits roll 4.
2s.
Yeah, 2s is good enough. It takes you a little bit longer than you would like, and you notice that third box being tossed across as you start to get this unhooked. But then you see like the little lever that you've got to pull to like disconnect the 2 arms that grab, and you do that, and then you find the last chain that you've got to unhook, and there's a little bit of a squealing and a little bit of a lurch in the train as the front of the train starts to speed up and the other 2 starts to slow down, still keeping pace just a little bit because of its momentum. But this train car has absolutely come away free and is disconnected from the rest.
And I'll go back around, let the other guys know. Last chance, I think it's about to get very fiery pretty soon.
Yeah, I think that they they at least don't want to be stranded in it.
Uh-huh.
And so they're not going to try and get any more of the boxes. Shin jumps over with no issue. And Olda jumps over holding a 4th box. Because she, once again, got 5s and a nudge.
Then me jumping over?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a physique roll.
5s and a nudge.
As you jump over and land right behind Bella and Clydus, you see Hinston there talking to him, and Clydus kind of like points at the stick of dynamite and puts his hands up and takes a step back, and Bella gives a really, really big smile, and Hinston looks between the 3 of you, and you can tell that he's not very happy about the situation, but he doesn't say anything more, and he turns around.
I stop him. Like, I will physically stop him.
From turning around?
From turning around.
Why, you want him to witness
like,
the dynamite?
Well, is he turning around and leaving? That's what that was the impression I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's turning around and walking away from the situation.
He's washing his hands of it.
Okay.
The moment he
I'm
turns around, Clydus lights one of the sticks of dynamite that he had in his pocket still, and then tosses it over to the wild card.
And in the meantime,
you know what? I'm gonna light both things in my hand and do the same.
I feel like the way this works is Clydus lights his stick and then holds it over towards Bella, who lights both of hers off of Clydus's fuse.
And then if I can, I'd like to take the Molotov from
Clydus just hands him another stick of dynamite. I got 4 of them.
Okay. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to push the remaining drugs to the back of the car, stick the piece of dynamite in them, and just kick them off after I light it.
Oh, you're. I didn't realize you were back in the other car. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought.
Or wait, no. What are you doing?
No, the crates that have already come across.
Yeah. Would you mind redescribing that again?
So, I'd like to get them situated like in the back of the car, to where I can just kick them off with the dynamite.
So you'd have to bring them. Are you saying towards the door here again? Oops, that's not the ping door.
Either towards the door, or if there's or if we're in the back of the car, right in here.
There would be another door that you would have to open as well,
Gotcha.
And then the little gate thing there.
Gotcha. Okay.
If you're gonna try and grab these crates and move them back towards the door, I think Olda and Yolant are both going to kind of put a hand on top of the crate. What are you doing?
Hold on. While that's going on, Clydus is throwing the dynamite before he loses the window.
Yeah, give me a physique roll.
And I get that extra die?
You get that extra die.
Yes! Woohoo! 5's and a nudge.
Yeah, you toss it, and it sails straight through, hits kind of the back wall of there, and then falls onto the floor where you see it just roll to the back of the cabin.
Hole in one.
Bella, do you want to give me a physique roll for the stick of dynamite? Which one are you throwing first?
I'm gonna throw the... Which one do I probably have longer? I can hold it for longer.
Probably the Molotov.
Okay, I'll throw the dynamite first.
Okay, give me a physique roll.
This is fine. That was 2s.
Yeah, 2s, you throw it, it lands in the middle of the floor and then kind of comes to a stop right in there. The train is getting slower and slower, and that window is kind of losing its opportunity. And so I'm going to give you a +1 in difficulty for the next one. So 3s or above.
Okay. The final thing that I was going to do before I toss this Molotov cocktail is I was just kind of glance over my shoulder at Olda and Yolant, and I was just gonna kind of brandish the Molotov cocktail in my hands and say, "Darlin', I will take this entire car with us if you don't let us do what we want."
I'm gonna make that a charm roll, and I'm gonna give you a +1 because of brandishing a Molotov cocktail. There's the episode title.
Brandishing a Molotov cocktail.
Yep.
That was 4s and 2 nudges.
I'm gonna give him a spirit roll, but I don't think it's gonna do anything.
And then what Finnigan is saying to them in the process. I signed up for stealing from rich people for another rich person, which is bad enough as it is, but I didn't make a deal with the devil to be someone's drug runner.
Well, technically, you signed up with the mob to steal from the Yakuza, basically. But that's just minutia.
I mean, stealing valuables and then exchanging those valuables is one thing.
Give me a charm roll and roll better than Olda.
Me? Okay.
Yep.
5s.
Okay. With the 5s and then with the successes Bella had, you see how this happens is you see that the rest of them kind of cow away from Bella as she brandishes this Molotov at them, and then Olda takes 2 steps forward and she starts to open her mouth, and you step in front of her and you put yourself squarely right in front of her and you give her that short speech and kind of stare her down, and she stares straight into your eyes. And she takes a step over towards the crate. She picks up the crate and she nods at you and she says, "That's fine, but this one's mine."
Is she holding it like a baby? What's she doing?
No, she's holding it in under one arm because they're smaller crates.
Oh, okay.
They're not the big bulky ones.
What you do with your own life is your choice. I just don't want other people to suffer because some fat cat is sitting there making money off of people's misery. And then I'll leave it at that. I won't press the issue.
I toss my Molotov cocktail.
Give me a physique roll, 3s or above.
Wait, have we pushed the carts out, or are you setting us all on fire?
Oh no, I'm throwing it at the other one. It's overkill, but that's yeah, that's oh, that was nothing. I am gonna set us all on fire.
You throw it out and it sails up, and for a moment it looks really good, and then it lands just short and splashes in a gout of flame all over the train tracks.
That did look pretty cool, though.
Can I then try to aim carefully and throw the rest of the crates on the existing fire? that the Molotov has created?
I think you'd probably be better off just like putting the crates together, lighting the stick of dynamite,
And pushing
then
them off?
throwing the crates. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good to me. That's what I'll do.
Just because of how fast the train is moving.
Yep.
Like almost immediately the train would that has been slowing down would be on top of the fire very briefly, but it would pass very quickly.
Okay, let's do that then.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a physique roll. +1 for being a dock worker. You're used to slinging crates.
4s and a nudge.
Yeah, with 4s and a nudge, just as you're able to get this lit, and you toss it out, and it starts to tumble away, and a couple of seconds after it starts to tumble, you hear 2 booms from the train behind you, and the audience just start to scream. As like shrapnel kind of like rains down a little bit on the heist car, and a little bit on the performance car, but it doesn't quite get up to the audience. But the splintered remains of the wild car is just falling in pieces and chunks. And several seconds after that, there's another boom as the crates then explode a little bit away from the train tracks. And there are more screams from the audience who kind of like panic and rush towards the other end, away from the performance car. And Hinston turns back around and once again gives a sour look to everyone, but doesn't say anything.
I'd like to whisper to Clydus, hey, would you like to throw Winston in the lion's cage? Hinston in the lion's cage?
Idea.
Got a better
Clydus
idea.
is going to try to, a moment Hinston isn't looking, surreptitiously sneak one of the dynamites into his pocket.
Oh, God.
Yeah, give me a physique roll.
3s and a nudge.
Oh yeah, you're able to do that pretty easily.
Now he's complicit.
He sure is.
I don't want to take too much more of our time because I know we're starting to get towards a little bit longer than we like to go. But the circus then ends its acts and tries to get everybody to calm down. And
It's all part of the show. It's fireworks.
we always no, they don't say it's part of the show. They don't say blowing up the other train is part of the show.
I mean, how did they even know it was the other train blew up?
Oh, you could tell. You could tell.
It was a
I
plant.
guess there are
it was
stands facing the other way.
it was a plant train. It was there to blow up the entire time.
But there's no more acts that are put on. And you guys arrive back in Ellendale to perform or to the train station, and you notice quite strangely that there is already a police presence waiting at the train station.
Good God, we're on the wanted list again. We just got off.
As the other train pulls into the station, you see the police kind of swarm up to the other train, and immediately the conductor is pulled out and is kind of questioned roughly, and you see like them talking animatedly, and they go back towards the back of the train, and you everybody give me a wits roll.
The back of our train or the back of the Irvine train?
The Irvine train.
3s
I
and
got
a nudge.
nothing.
2s.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, what did everybody else get?
2s.
Nothing.
Clydus, you happen, as you're trying to discreetly exit your car and get out of the area, you overhear the police officer saying, well, there's not even a card from the Wilde family here. And the conductor then says, well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Somebody blew up the train. And they continue to have a spirited disagreement trying to sort out exactly what happens as the everybody on the heist car is able to take that opportunity to pack up and slip away from the train station and back towards the warehouse.
Hold on. Can I want Clydus to try and disguise himself with the clown makeup so he's not recognizable as Clydus.
Sure. I'm gonna make that a wits roll.
Alright.
I'm gonna make it a -1 though, because you're putting the makeup on yourself.
4s.
Yeah, you're able to slap on makeup all over the areas where skin had been exposed before, kind of alter your appearance just a little bit, just through the sheer ridiculous amount of color that's on your face. And so it's very difficult to tell what your facial features look like, let alone that you're a Koloss blood.
So Clydus is going to go up and tell the policeman that he saw a wild car and it was smoking all of a sudden out of nowhere and suddenly blew up. It was the darndest thing. He'd never seen anything like it in his life.
Yeah, give me a charm roll.
Can I get +1 for deceptively lackadaisical?
It would be a crime against God if you did not get a +1 for deceptively lackadaisical telling this story in clown outfit.
4s and a nudge.
Yeah, so the inspector kind of pulls you to the side and starts taking some notes as you describe what you saw immediately prior to what happened. And, you kind of spin this tale of something happening on that car and how it endangered the circus train, the very first one of its kind that was so promising and such a wonderful performance, destroyed by this tragedy of whatever it was that caused this explosion.
Yep, that's what he does.
And I think that unless anybody else had some role-playing that they wanted to do, we will go ahead and call it there for the week.
I did want to say something to Bella real quick. Well, I mean, they never did tell us what we were supposed to grab, and I guess it could be seen as an honest mistake, don't you think?
They did also tell us that we could go about this whatever way we wanted to. Honestly, it's their problem for not being specific.
They did say the merchandise had to disappear.
It sure did disappear.
I don't think that they said that. They also did not have a specific goal, and they were very open about the fact that we don't know what we're going to get other than the firearms and munitions that you want. They were just as much interested in disrupting the Irvine supply chain as they were in acquiring material goods.
Oh, baby, we sure disrupted it.
Yeah, industry disruptors. Add that as a secondary episode title there. Who is the CFO? TNT.
I mean, you could technically say we did it like the Vanishers. Everything vanished.
You might have wanted to blow up the munitions train if you wanted to make it that believable, but I think with the misdirection that Clydus put forth, there's going to be a lot of questions and not a lot of answers.
That's just how we roll.
Dangerous chemicals are flammable.
Especially if they're in enclosed hot spaces.
I mean, really, we just all have to be glad that none of the children were harmed.
True.
Think of the children.
But I think that is a great place to call the end of the Circus Train arc. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I can't wait to talk about this in the season reflection episode.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm just glad that we got to blow stuff up again.
It's been too long.
It really has been.
You know, it's you really played to the Survivor's Anarchy cause and the sabotage method that you set out in episode 1.
We sure did.
100% sabotage, 100% of the time. It's a beautiful thing.
With the roasted dusters, it's not a question of if something is going to get blown up. It's a matter of when.
Absolutely.
And that was answered quite thoroughly.
So with that in mind, we will be back again in 2 weeks' time to blow something else up.
Bye.
Mistborn and all related properties are owned by Brandon Sanderson and Dragonsteel Entertainment. The Mistborn adventure game is a product of Crafty Games. Special thanks to Steve Argyle for letting us use his artwork for the logo, and to Boardroom Design for putting the logo together for us. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at LLOS Podcast, or give us an email at lostlegendsofscadrial@gmail.com. We hope that you'll like and share and give us a review on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.